I wanted to talk about height again in my channel because of two experiences I had lately. One dumbass friend saying that height does not matter in dating, attraction, and life in general, and one client I worked with on Fiverr. I will get into that story shortly. In today's video, we'll be going over some data showing that height is as important as your facial attractiveness. In my opinion, one cannot exist without the other. My personal experiences and how women react to shorter men when it comes to dating. If this subject triggers you or you are already in a dark place because of your height, then I recommend you click off this video because I don't want to make things worse for you or worsen your mental health. Anyways, you have been warned. And if you want to get your face rated by me with personalized look max and advice, link will be down in the description. Without further ado, let's get this video started. So I want to discuss first my experience with that guy that ordered my Fiverr gig. I gave him the rating and he scored pretty high bordering the chat category. He's also very well built and very lean with a six-pack, model caliber stuff. So when I handed out the rating, he told me that even though he scored high, women in his university overlooked him no matter how well he approaches them. But he performed very well in online dating. So that's when I connected the dots and I asked him, how tall are you? And he said around 5'4", which is below average height in the country where he is from, France. In France, the average height for men is around 5'10". And please don't ask me to show his actual picture or show the conversation. I don't want to breach anybody's privacy. The picture used are just examples. This showed me that if you are below average in height, you will struggle hard even with a good looking face and a shredded physique. Unless you have the status of a celebrity or multi-millionaire, I guess. And I know there will be that guy down in the comment section somewhere talking about how there is this 4'11" guy who dates a supermodel. Exceptions do exist, but just because a small number of women are willing to date short men, this does not nullify the general rules, so don't be that guy. This is a no-cope zone. I have here some stats from dating sites Bumble showing statistics of how women filter out men by height. I suppose there is an advanced feature, for example, you can show only men who are 5'11" and above. Anyways, let's look at what we got here. We can see that men from 4'11" to 5'9" all got left in the dust. Men who are around 5'10" and 5'11" are doing somewhat better, they got chosen around 30% of the time. But once we reach the magical number 6 foot and above, the selection skyrockets to crazy levels above 70%. Then it starts to get low again around 6'9" and below. I mean, those guys will fare better than the short guys. Women being attracted to men that tall is niche, but like I said, better than being short. We have here another chart that shows the desired height when it comes to both genders. Let's start with men first. The blue color is men and pink color is women, by the way. Just like our previous chart, men who are from 5 foot to 5'8" seems to be left in the dust. From 5'9" to 5'8" got an F, and below 5 foot, well, got nothing. From 5'9" to 5'11", they all got a D-. Men who are 6 foot got C-. Like usual, when we hit the magical number above 6 foot, the charts explode to A+. In terms of the grade, and again, we see it declines a little bit after 6'5". Because again, those heights are niche for women. But again, still better than short. Funny thing is, for women, they become less desirable the taller they get. I guess men are intimidated to approach taller women. They are aware that rejection is certain. Now, if you are still not convinced from all these stats or other stats out there on the internet, then I have a documentary here for you. How about you hear it directly from women's mouths? ABC News did a documentary where they brought a bunch of men with varying heights from short to tall, and they gave the short guy all the assets and money and status that a man can only dream of. So how do you think he performed? Well, let's check it out together, shall we?
We recruited other men about the same age as David, Stu, and Rob, but taller. We asked them all to dress in jeans and a sweater, and then we did something cruel. We put them in lineups 5 at a time behind a two-way mirror. The men couldn't see or hear what was going on in the next room. That's where we invited groups of women to look at the men and choose a date. In this case, we wanted to see if anyone would pick 5'3" Rob. When Andrea told us women like doctors, we gave him an MD. Their choice?
Andrea. I would say Matt, I think.
No, Rob. We piled on some more assets. We said besides being a doctor, he was also a best-selling author and champion skier who just built his own ski house.
Does that affect your choices?
He's still short.
Then we gave Rob a promotion. We made him chief of staff at a prestigious hospital.
Who would you pick, Kim?
Andrew's probably the closest to who I'd pick.
I'd pick Matt.
Jeffrey, the pilot.
What would it take? Now we said Rob was also a gourmet cook who loves children.
Oh, definitely I would take him in a minute then. Height, no problem. I wouldn't, because I would think I don't want short little kids. I was thinking like...
Well, at least someone liked Rob. But if it was this harsh for him at 5'3", what would it take to get a date for Stu at just 5 feet? First, we made him an up-and-coming actor.
No.
No. Not.
Then we said Stu had made millions by age 25.
No.
No?
Not for me.
Nothing worked.
How come nobody picked Stu?
He's too short.
He's too short. Too short?
We asked if there was anything we could add to make Stu irresistible.
Maybe the only thing you could say is that the other 4 are murderers.
Right, or convicted of some crime.
That would definitely
Child
rapists, psychotic.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And then we would say,
Oh,
okay, hello, Stu. I mean, and nothing bad towards him. He's got a nice smile. He's cute.
Notice how the short guy gets laughed at and nobody bats an eye or comments on it. Poor Stu, even with millions of dollars, he still couldn't get selected. I'm just glad to be part of the 6'1" club. I wouldn't trade anything for it. Height does not only affect how you are perceived in terms of dating or sexual appeal, but it also affects how others see you in professional business world as well. Short guys are perceived to be less successful, making less money, unlike taller men who are perceived to make more money and to have more successful careers. And like always, there's an experiment done in the streets of New York. They ask strangers how much does the tall and short guys make.
An American study found business graduates earn $600 a year more for every extra inch of height. And in US presidential elections, the taller man has won 17 out of 21 times. But who looks more successful at work? First, tall man Marcus.
He's a lawyer, doctor, and their accountant.
I would say he's an executive who likes sports.
Probably earns maybe about $500,000 a year.
54, 58, close to 60 a year, 60,000.
I would say maybe 100,000 a year.
He looks like a tycoon.
Now short man Melvin.
He's little. Maybe a cook. He's like a cook.
I think he's a quiet guy, and he's not very happy. I think he's having a difficult situation right now.
I'd say he earns about an average income, nothing fancy, but enough to live on, yeah.
Minimum wage, I guess, 20,000 a year.
On average, they credited Melvin with a meager $20,000 income and Marcus with a whopping $220,000. All thanks to a difference of 14 inches.
I wish I was his size, to tell you the truth.
As you can see, there's this halo effect when it comes to height. People subconsciously think of taller men as stronger and more successful. This halo effect reaches out to kids and infants as well. You want more proof? Okay then, here's some more. Sperm banks requires men to be at least 5'8". And a Swedish research found that shorter men are 2-fold more likely to commit neck rope than taller men. I myself crushed guys who looked better than me in terms of facial attractiveness, but they were short, so they were overlooked. I get asked a lot on social media when interaction with women how tall I am. Of course, they don't ask bluntly how tall you are, they sneak themselves into that question. So does this mean you should hate women for desiring the top 10% of men who are tall? Absolutely not. It's simple evolutionary and biological attractiveness. We've been like this since the dawn of time. I know the media seems to portray women as virtuous and seeking men with the good heart and personality, but when it comes to the real world, men and women are the same. We seek the same thing, which is superior genes, and height is a good indicator of that. So save yourselves from that hatred, it will not benefit you. And I want to talk about something else quickly before wrapping up the video. This is for the guys who ordered my gig. When it comes to height and how it affects your rating, it depends on the average male height in your country. For example, if you are average in height for your own country, then your score stays unaffected. If you are below average for your own country, then your score starts suffering. And the higher you are above average, the more you benefit. I just wanted to clear that out. I know this is a depressing video for some men, but living in a lie, in my opinion, is far worse than acknowledging the truth. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you dig my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And like usual, catch you guys in the next one.